Do you have a Jeep Renegade and you need to find your standard toolkit or know how to remove a wheel in a car? Then this is the video for you. Hi there guys, welcome to another Ross Perry Productions video and welcome to another video on my 2015 Jeep Renegade. Now I'd normally make these videos outside but it's absolutely pouring down with rain, so I thought I'd do this one in the garage. So this video I'm going to show you where the standard toolkit is and also talk you through each of the components, and we're going to go ahead and remove one of the wheels on the car. So hopefully this video will help you if you're caught out with a flat tyre or you just need to change a tyre or a wheel. So the toolkit's found in the boot of the car. So obviously with the car unlocked, we're just going to open up the boot fully, or the tailgate depending on where you are in the world, and then we've got this hard cover here. So you're just going to go ahead and pull that tab. Now normally you could just hold this up while you get the toolkit out, but I'm going to go ahead and actually remove it just for the sake of the video. So with that removed, I'll just show you around inside the spare wheel trough. So we've got a spare wheel here, and that's the lock that holds it in place. I'm not going to get this out of the car just because I'll take the current wheel off and also put that back on just for the sake of the video. Over to the right hand side, this is our toolkit, and there's just a Velcro strap holding it in. Now this is a complete toolkit on this car, so hopefully yours is still complete. And we're just going to go ahead and put that down on the floor and open up the zip. You have to open it up all the way around so it can open like that. So like I say, this is a complete toolkit. This is our towing eye for the towing points. I've made a separate video on that. This is actually for topping up the fuel in an emergency. I've also made a video on that. Here is a wheel chock, and we're going to need to use that in a second, so I'll get that out. We've just got a multi-changeable screwdriver there. That's a Phillips number 2 on one side and a flat screwdriver on the other. And then this is our jack, which obviously we're going to be using. Now with the jack, it's nice and simple, but it does come with this handle, and this handle is also going to undo our wheel bolts, and it's also going to operate the jack as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up the camera on a tripod, and then we'll start to actually get one of the wheels off of the car. So just to talk you through these three components, this one here is not found in a lot of car toolkits, so this is actually really cool. So what you do is you open it up, and then you open up the yellow section like that, and then you put those spikes through there. Now what this is going to do is it's going to go that way round. The spikes are going to face down, and then that curvature there is actually going to follow the curvature of the wheel. And this is just an additional precaution, and you're going to be able to chock the wheel that you're not taking off. So I'm going to be taking off this rear wheel here, so we're going to go ahead and chock the front wheel, and I'll show you that in just a second. Now like I said, this is our jack, and I'm going to point out our two jacking points in a second as well. And then this being our wheel brace, and it also operates the jack by pushing on there, and it's just righty tighty, lefty loosey, so turning it right to go up and left to go down. So the other thing that I'm going to mention as well is once we've put our parking brake on, we've put the vehicle in gear. So this is an automatic, so I'm going to leave it in park. If you've got the manual version, put it in first gear or reverse, and then we're going to go ahead with the car on the ground, and we're going to start to loosen off each of the wheel bolts on the wheel that we're taking off. Now you only need to do that about a quarter of a turn at the start. And the reason for that is just once the car is in the air, it's a little bit harder to undo those. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to put our wheel chock on, and I'm going to start getting our jack in position once I've pointed out the two jacking points on each side. So first off, my car's now in park and the parking brake is now on, and I'm going to go ahead and chock the wheel. There we go. So that's just, like I say, an additional precaution just to stop the car moving. Now I've already started to open up my jack beneath this jacking point, and there are two jacking points on each side. So you'll notice there's a little arrow here on the side skirt quite near the rear wheel. That is our rear jacking point. And what we're going to do is look underneath there, and you'll see this bit of metal up here. And what we're going to do is slot that part of the jack onto that metal. Now for the front jacking point, it's much the same. We just look along the skirt and you can actually see that arrow, and just below that is our jacking point. So just the same there, front and back, and obviously that's repeated on the other side. So what I'm going to do is just start lining this up by hand. Nice and simple to do. So that's now lined up and ready to take load. But like I say, I'm just going to set up the camera now and loosen off each of these wheel bolts about a quarter of a turn. Then we'll jack the car all the way in the air and then take the remainder of the wheel bolts off. Now you can notice the wheel is actually off the floor. So this is where we're going to go ahead and remove the remainder of the wheel bolts. With the wheel bolts now off, we can just go ahead and simply remove the wheel. Okay, so the wheel's now off the car. So we can go ahead, go get the puncture repaired, or also get the spare out of the boot, or if you're just trying to rotate the wheels or tyres, you can do that as well. So now I'm just going to make a quick time lapse of me getting it all back together, and I'll also show you the formation for doing up the wheel bolts. Okay, so you'll notice I didn't do that in any particular order, and that's because the wheel is on and it's tight, but I haven't actually done up the bolts yet. So what I'm going to do is just triple check those, making sure they're done up tight enough by hand. I'm actually not going to torque them up until the car is back on the ground. So like I say, it didn't really matter on the formation, I actually done those up. So I'm going to go ahead, lower the car back down to the ground, and then I'm going to show you how you actually tighten these on nice and tight. So this is where we're going to go ahead and actually tighten these up now that we've got the car on the ground. So I'm just going to put that in with this now at a right angle, and we're going to push it down as much as you probably could without putting your foot on it. And then we're going to go to the opposite one now. And just work your way around doing the same thing. Once you're confident you've done them up nice and tight like I just did, I can go ahead and put the toolkit away. So there we go, this is all back exactly as I found it. This is actually the wheel brace there and the lever for the jack, obviously taking the wheel chock off as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close that and put it back in the car, just so that we know it's all there ready for the next time I need to use it. Making sure it's strapped in so it's not going to rattle around by using that Velcro strap. A bit hard to do one-handed. And then of course putting our boot shelf back in. And there we go. That's the standard toolkit, jacking points and how to remove and replace a wheel on a 2015 Jeep Renegade. Now this process will be the same for all years of the Renegade and also a lot of the Fiat 500Ls and X's. So I hope you found that video helpful. If you did, please go ahead, give me the thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, check out some of my other videos and subscribe to my channel.